it's always pleasing to have some level of recognition, particularly from the committee, which is comprised of, as I understand it, in essence, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court judges and ex-judges. So that's always nice that they think that you are doing okay. So I think for me that's the most important. So that the decision makers think that you merit it.
What have been some of your career highlights, and how do you think that they prepared you for this next step?
Well, in my case, as opposed to the other successful applicant, the career's been somewhat longer. So, I started in 1990. The law's changed a lot. There's been a massive increase in terms of the complexity and the nature of litigation. In my day, you kind of went off to court with a few papers and a book, a bit like Suits or something. Nowadays, it's volumes of documents. So in my case, look, I've been litigating since 1990, always on my own or with a junior helping me, and therefore I've done lots of different types of cases over 30 odd years, and it's been varied. So in Gibraltar, and I think it should be encouraged. We should, I think, do different types of practice. So I started off with criminal work. Did that for about 5 or 6 years, a lot of admiralty work. It's then gone more into things like insolvency and administrative work, so matters that, judicial reviews and so on. So it's been a varied profession, quite a lot of employment, and I like the idea that things are varied. Clients aren't compartments. A client, whether it's a businessman or, he needs to be understood, and he's got personal issues, he's got business issues. People are the same. So I think it's better to have a generalized kind of perspective on law. It helps you, even if you then focus on one particular field, as many of us do.
What role do you think that the legal profession plays in Gibraltar and more generally, and how do you think the profession is evolving here? What issues do you see, if any?
I think the legal profession, and coupled with that is judiciary, is a crucial aspect of any democracy. Indeed, it's of any country, but particularly any democracy. So, it gives people the right to protect their rights, to defend their rights, particularly in the face of powerful, whether it's powerful individuals, powerful companies, and very often the state or the state's sort of quangos, if I can call them that. So I kind of think the rule of law can only really survive if you've got a vibrant, active, dynamic legal profession that is willing to take on, the state, and also protect individual rights. So I think it's a really important, and more so nowadays perhaps than ever, not just in Gibraltar, though evidently in Gibraltar too, but increasingly as things get more tense. Very often there appears to be an increasing assault, I think, on freedom of speech or democracy, and the legal profession plays an important part, and the willingness of lawyers to take on and ask the questions, I think, is really important. In Gibraltar, probably the biggest challenges, I think, is we probably need more people to do law, more young people to do law, and to stick to law rather than going in-house to gaming companies or insurance companies or regulators or where else they go. Relative to when I started, we have the same numbers returning, or perhaps less, because some stay in the UK, and actually it means that the recruitment pool is very small, and I think that's not particularly healthy. I also think we end up with an over-dependence on UK counsel. I have never been led by a UK lawyer. I've always taken the view that good or bad, I'll do it myself, and I think it'd be good for more people like to take cases on themselves and to be prepared to do the advocacy. Otherwise, we run the risk of becoming, I think, a profession dominated by overseas counsel, and there's a place for them. I think it's important to have their input, but I think we need to encourage more Gibraltarians to lead in cases and to be advocates, and I think that would be really helpful.
So what advice would you give to young lawyers and those thinking of joining the profession?
Be prepared to work hard. Law is one of those things that every day is a school day. I really would say that now in my late 50s, I'm learning more than I probably was in my 20s or my 30s. I think you can get better as you get older. You don't kind of expire. And you've got to be prepared to work hard. So if you want to do law, particularly in the field of litigation, which is generally where you find this kind of award or recognition, you need to be prepared to put in the hours. You need to enjoy it, and then to understand that you're acting for a client. So things you say or do are for your client. It's not a personal view. It's a professional view. So you've got to have a thick skin, but don't take things too personally. And I think this is a very rewarding profession, and something that you can continue, should you wish to do so, into perhaps later years when in other professions maybe you'd be thinking of giving up. So my advice is go for it and have some bravery. Take on cases, have a go. You're not going to win everyone. You'll lose some, sometimes many, but learn from them. Take them on.
So 35 years of litigating. Where do you see your career going in this next step? A return to politics, perhaps?
Well, that's got nothing to do with law, although very often politicians and lawyers seem to be the same people. But look, what I'd say is that this is a focus on law, and what I would say is that I'm certainly enjoying myself now more, having had some experience. I think I can probably offer more to clients. I've made enough mistakes and got enough things right to work out which is which. So probably, I think for the next few years it'll be very much a focus on law and trying to get better really, and hopefully provide clients with continued services that they value.